My name is Nassim Sabs.
He wanted to recreate his own heaven and have Nibiru as the sun in the center of it, and all of his planets around it. This was the ancient former system of heaven. The sun was the heliocentric center, and there was heavenly planets around it, and a queen each ruled on each planet. Lucifer wanted to mimic that, and so he was using Nibiru. But what he did, because he had a lot of technological geniuses back in the day, and he still does. They're not good, but they're smart. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'll give them credit for being smart, being able to figure things out. But they had developed what we call CERN, the Large Hadron Collider thing. They had developed a Stargate on Nibiru, and they had it buried in the center of this planet, and they were pulling creatures in from other parts of the universe and tagging them and putting them in armies so that they could be controlled. And that's the same thing. And then he unleashed all that on the heavenly planets, and they were everywhere, all over the place. It was part of the war. When he unleashed all these creatures on all the heavenly planets, it was like his retaliation against heaven, whatever. He's doing the same thing here with CERN. He's bringing in all these creatures from space. He's finding them again. He's tagging them. He's stuffing them in places. And he's going to pull them all out and unleash them on Earth. That's why the Father says there's nothing new under the sun that's happening, because it's all happened before.
So are you saying then that the devil gave humans the CERN technology, and then he's really using it like a Trojan horse to bring his hordes of killers and thugs and rioters into this realm?
Yeah, he's using it to bring in all kinds of creatures. They're opening up portals. He's going to blast the whole of hell, and all those hordes that are in hell are going to be unleashed on Earth. This is going to be literally hell on Earth. And when this happens, and he calls it the phase, when the phase is over, he'll go hide. And we call it the Great Tribulation period at that point. The Bible parallels it. Tells it the time of Jacob's trouble. He is going to go hide because he knows what a zoo this place is going to be. His biggest plan and joy is the phase. And the phase is when the mark is going to be enforced on the world, where everyone has to get his chip, his mark, his number, his name, his image in around their right hand or forehead to show their loyalty to him.
Yeah, I think he's got a logo. I think it's I'm with her. Hey, here's a question from Steve Woodruff in the from the live chat, I believe, and he's from Wales. This is from Wales, North UK. It says, "Are we part of the third that rebelled and were allowed a life on Earth to atone and to see who is really sorry?"
Those are the fallen angels that fell, and there are some that are recycled as humans over and over again. I talk about it in Angels in the Flesh.
Yeah.
There are some who just recycle over and over and over and over as humans.
Okay. Now, have you been recycled?
No. No, I never fell.
Oh, okay, sorry. Where are you going to fall? I don't know, man. I mean, was that a one-time deal, or can people still fall and getting stuck in a life loop?
Oh, they can still fall. Angels are not held in heaven with a gun. I mean, they can fall. The Watchers' rebellion talked about in Enoch, 200 million fell. They wanted to procreate with human women. So there's been different rebellions over the years, and that's why we have the giants and the Nephilim and demons and all that kind of thing. Everything comes from somewhere.
Well, there's sure a lot of creeps out there. Are you sure that a lot of these fallen demon types are not now residing in the Middle East?
Well, you know what? He calls that the biggest garbage dump on the planet. Yeah. Because what they do in the Middle East is they take the humans off the planet, and they kill them and torture them on their alien ships and in their starships and underground bases. And then they put fakes on the Earth to play the role of that human. And I was told this by the White House years ago as well. The reason so many people, it's 80 degrees out and you got long sleeves, they're hiding the numbers on their wrists and they have numbers on the backs of their necks. Those are clone numbers.
Really?
Yeah. And so, Lucifer hates the Middle East. He hates Israel. It's a garbage dump to him.
He ain't nothing but a hater.
He knows most of it's not even humans, and they're all inbred. They're a bunch of inbred animals is what he calls them. And so it's just a cesspool. And then when you look at NATO soldiers, what he told me about NATO soldiers is they have all these super soldier programs in the UK and the US, and they have all this transgender or transhumanism stuff going on. They have various experiments, and what they do is they throw all these people, these soldiers, in NATO forces. So NATO forces are a mess.
Well, I'll tell you what, every time I see a NATO soldier, man, they always remind me of a sissy boy. I mean, these guys are effeminate-looking dudes. I mean, you can smack them right in the face, and they're just going to fade away.
Well, any kind of these super soldiers and stuff, they're severely abused in the My Labs.
Yeah.
They're severely abused.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I bet if you're a NATO soldier, every one of them guys is assigned a safe space in case things get hairy. But, getting back to the spiritual or the dumping ground there in the Middle East, so I'm watching, I rewatched Apocalypto, and, in that movie, it kind of refers back to early South America where the Aztecs and the Mayans, they build the temples and they get their enemies and they would cut their hearts out and and then reach in there or try to get it while it's still beating it. And then I was reading where in the Middle East that if they capture people, man, that they go inside and they take their body parts and they sell them. I'm thinking, wait a minute, man, are these the same people? What is going on in this planet? Is that what it is? It's the spirit of them, or that they come through and they're still here?
They're still here. At the time of the flood, Lilith knew that the Father was going to destroy the world with the flood. She saw the flood. When she saw the water, they really got busy. And what they did was took several thousands of people off of the planet. And then when the water receded, they brought their people back. And the people of South America are theirs. The people of India, China, all the almond eye races are Liliths. All the dark skin races are Eve's and Lucifer's. And they brought them back after the flood. Now, they used South America and America, everything over here away from the Middle East, as like a cross-breeding ground for animals. That's why you have the dinosaurs. That's where all that comes in. They tried to keep it away from the Middle East and kept it over here in other parts of the country. It was easier then, probably because it was flat. It wasn't so broken up.
Well, Hillary says they don't need to be ripping out hearts. They just need a job. So I'm not sure what kind of policy that is. But here's Steve Ells out of the live chat says, "Are humans a slave race?"
No, we're God's people. We were created by God. The aliens want you to think you're a slave race. They want you to think that they created you, and they're coming back to rule over you, and that's a lie.
Yeah.
They created, the best they could come up with was the Cro-Magnon. They were brute beasts. That's why they tried to come up with an evolutionary scale from man, from ape to a human. All the ape to human stuff was Lucifer's attempts at creating man. Man was the Father's. The Most High God created man. We're His children. We're not Lucifer's.
Well, now is that all people, everyone on the planet, or? Well,
humans are from the Father. Now, bloodlines are a different thing. You got Cain's kids everywhere.
And you're a King's kid there. All right, here, Philip from Georgia asked this question to you, Sherry Shriner. What incentive did Lucifer have to give you an interview?
Well, me and Lucifer go way back. I mean, we kind of grew up together in heaven back in the day.
Yeah?
We go way back. And so I've always had access to him because I'm the only one on earth who could find a way to defeat him and hurt him.
Having some lunch, throwing down a few brewskis. I mean, you guys go way back. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, we go way back. I grew up in the palace, same time with him, and we were very close at one time.
Uh-oh. How close, Sherry, how close did you guys get?
Well, we were close, Daniel. He was my brother.
Oh, okay. The devil was your brother then?
Yeah, basically. And so when he started the rebellion, we warred against him. Okay,
because you didn't want to go along with his plan.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Nobody. You have to understand, he decided to take a system that was already working fine in heaven and begin a new world order, so to speak. Mm-hmm. None of this is new, Daniel. Nothing happening right now is new. It happened before. He tried to change the economy. He tried to change the governments, the form of worships. He tried to implement changes to change everything. Mm-hmm. And all of the queens rose up against him and fought against him. And so at one point, he had about 2/3 of the angels, because they were going along with him. They didn't know what was going on. Right. But when the queens rose up against him to fight against him, then the angels realized what was going on. He was a prince. He was a king. So they were just, listening to him blindly. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't question him or Yahushua, who was named Yasha in heaven. You wouldn't question them if they gave you an order. Mm-hmm. And so this had never been done before. And he started implementing all of these changes, starting a rebellion. Mm-hmm. And then it turned into a war because nobody was going along with it.
Well, if he was your brother, Sherry, I mean, is he? Did you disown him, or are you guys still brothers? You just having a family?
Oh, no.
You having a family feud?
He's long gone. He's long gone. His name was Haliel. His heavenly name was Haliel. And someone on earth somewhere changed it to Lucifer. Everybody just goes with that now, Lucifer.
Okay. And what was his real name? How do you spell that? I don't even know.
Haliel, Halaayel, or A-L. I don't know either. I just spell it as I pronounce it.
Well, yeah, you don't normally spell his name because you're always talking to him in person. All right. Okay. Now, in the book, do you say that the meeting of your interview was arranged? I mean, was he sent an invite, and then how did that all come about?
No, it took place. I guess you would have to say like a portal was open.
Okay.
And he was with the Father at all times.
Okay.
So the Father could control him.
But
you know what? It was very civil. It just stayed pretty much civil the whole time.
Okay.
And this took time over weeks. This wasn't a sit down and talk for a couple of days. This took time over weeks, and I have the dates in my book when this conversation took place.
Really?
Yeah.
And how long was it? Days? Did you guys keep meeting? Scheduled appointments?
Oh, he was enjoying it. If I was skipping a couple of days of talking to him, he would get angry.
Wow.
He's like, "Where you are? Where are you? Where have you been? Why are you taking so long?" And I'm like, "I had to go get some coffee," because Father would set up a time for us to talk, and I'd be like, "Hang on, I need some coffee." It's just typical stuff. And I leave that in the book so people can actually get a feel of what's going on.
Okay.
I don't change anything he says. I don't change anything. I just wrote it as it was said, wrote it as it happened. I tried to keep his personality in there because it was important to me that no matter what I said, the important thing to me was that people could perceive how he really is. Because so many people, they sign the dotted line, they sell their soul to Lucifer, they think they're going to get something from him when they die. I wanted them to see his own personality and see in his own words what he really thinks of them.
Okay.
That was more important to me than any other part of that book.
Okay. Hang on for a second. All right, let's get to this question here from the live chat from Bransif in Melbourne, Australia. Was Yeshua firstborn, therefore, heir to the kingdom of heaven?
He actually was not. He was Haliel. There were five girls born. Then Haliel was created, and then Yasha. The boys were in the middle. Yahushua and Lucifer, the Mormons got it right, and everybody blasted them. The churches thought they were blasphemous and blah, blah, blah. But the Mormons got it right. Those two were brothers. Yahushua and Lucifer were brothers.
Man, a lot of brothers and sister and things going on there.
But it was 14 kids.
They were expecting kids?
There was 14 children. Father has 14 direct children. He had 2 sons and 12 daughters.
Yeah. I got to ask, was Hillary Clinton one of them?
No.
All right. So when you guys, okay. So you guys up are, sitting around the heavenly table there, Now, is God sitting there? Is he listening to the interview between you and the devil?
Oh, yes. He's sitting right there.